what's your take on the Chelsea interest, reportedly now, a £45 million bid?
I understand the interest. Super player. He's a really, really talented young man. He's got lovely balance, lovely technique, got good courage, gets on the ball, tries to make things happen. He's quick. I understand Chelsea's interest 100%.
Okay, well, that's interesting because on Monday, Graham Souness, for one, couldn't.
I can't see the sense in it for Chelsea. I don't think he's going to come in and be an impact on that team and where they want to be. It's a gamble. 21, 50 games, 40 million. It's a gamble, but I come back to it. I think where Chelsea are right now, they seem to have, I'm looking at the bench yesterday, they're starting 11. They're in good shape, but for one area. 10.5 for me as a goal scorer.
So, priorities.
Well, I understand what he's saying. They've already got an abundance of talent in attacking areas, I think is where he's going. Will he come in and really add more quality? Well, no, but you're talking about getting him for the next 7-8 years at that club. You're talking about someone who could progress into a superstar. I mean, he's really good. He's not a risk. If you know football and you've watched him enough, he's not a risk. No. He's plenty good enough. And he's going to get better and better. He's certainly not a risk at that
So
moment.
why Souness saying what you're saying?
Well, because he's making a fair point in about, is he going to go in and improve, make a huge impact at Chelsea now when they've got Sterling, they've got Ziyech, they've got Mason Mount. That's fair because he's at the beginning of his career, but that lad's potential could take him to another level in a team like Chelsea.
Does he go into their team? Do you think he goes straight into their team? If they were to sign him, which I
think it's a fruitless debate because when you're playing at so many games like Chelsea on the Champions League, Premier League, League Cup, FA Cup, he's going to get a fair amount of games. Is he in their best 11? Well, it depends how he plays. He wouldn't be far off.
The reason I don't think it's a fruitless debate because he'll play the bulk of games for Everton.
Every game
for Everton. And if he's not playing every game for Chelsea, then he's not developing perhaps the way he could do because you can train as much as you want with the best players in the world, but you play and that's how you get better, right?
Well, the argument, if you're asking me about his development and what from a footballing perspective, what would be best for him to stay at Everton a bit longer. 100%.
Yeah, but it's his boyhood club, Danny. This is the thing.
Yeah.
So where is that in Anthony Gordon's list of priorities? Should it be on his list of priorities?
Well, it will
Or
be.
is this a move in a career sense that is the only move to take?
What happens when you're in a situation sometimes as a footballer, you get presented an opportunity and although somebody's advice might be right and telling you you've got time, don't worry, things will look after itself, you've got the ability, etc., you are fearful of missing out on an opportunity that might never come again. And that opportunity to go to a club where you're playing Champions League, you're gonna compete for silverware and you're going to earn a lot more money, might not present itself again for a multitude of reasons.
But if he's
How
got
does it look though, Simon, from Mashiri's point of view?
Well,
he's loved by the Evertonians. He's loved by the club.
I think he's an Everton fan.
But there comes a point where a price point becomes irresistible. Let's be clear: everything is for sale. Whoever it is, they're for sale. It's just about finding the right price. He'll attach the same value to Everton, I suspect, as Wayne Rooney attached to them when he left Everton to go to Manchester United. I don't think Chelsea. I would think there's a more compelling situation if Manchester City and Liverpool were the bidding clubs. I know potentially Liverpool would be a challenge because of his supporting of Everton. But Manchester City, because they're a formidable side that's winning things. Chelsea at this moment in time, we're not sure quite what Chelsea are going to be this year. We are talking earlier on in the shows last week about potentially Tottenham hunting down Chelsea and finishing above them in the league. Mm-hmm. So whilst there's this short, maybe we disagree, but the point is that it's not as irresistible a proposition to go to Chelsea for the player. You're talking about a player going, well, I might miss this boat. I might miss this grave train. It may never come again. I think when Rooney left to go to Man United were on top of the world. They were the best team in the country. They were the biggest team without argument. They were flying as a football club and everyone wanted to play for Alex Ferguson of any substance. I don't think the same thing exists at Chelsea. I think Tuchel is a fabulous manager. I don't particularly like his behaviour on Sunday, but I think he's a fabulous manager, full stop. But I don't think Chelsea is an irresistible lure. I think Manchester City might be, because you're going into Manchester City and there's a distinct
possibility. It depends how you value yourself, because sometimes within football, the world can look at you one way and you look at yourself a different way.
That's footballers full stop though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I meant even from a negative, from a derogatory point of view. So you devalue yourself to a point and you think, wow, this is like a humbling offer of a club that I never thought maybe I'd be good enough to get to, instead of actually having the foresight to go, I'm a hell of a player. I'm going to get better by staying at Everton. It's very hard to
If
be
he's got
objective.
good people around him and sensible people that are giving him good advice, I personally think it's a fool's errand for him to go to Chelsea at this stage in his career, and I think it's a bad move on Everton's part if they even entertain it, unless the numbers get to such a point that it's ridiculous. I mean, some could say £45 million is ridiculous, but it's not ridiculous.
Well, I mean,
in
reports
today.
began trickling out last night, Simon, that the boy would like the move. Now, unconfirmed reports. And when that happens, then it does twist a bit,
Well,
doesn't it?
there's a story. I played with a wonderful striker who went to Arsenal after half a good season at Everton, Franny Jeffers, for £11 million. And he went too early, and he'd tell you that. He should have stayed at Everton. And he got reeled in by the big club mentality. I'm going to go there, I'm going to win, I'm going to play. And actually, so...
Was it tell you about Everton? I mean, you got an owner in there, spent £500 million for a team that missed relegation by the skin of their teeth last year, that doesn't look much better this year. And now their academy projects, which they've developed and are part of the asset value of Everton as a football club, bringing young players through to play in their first team, potentially want to leave as well.
I mean, he can't have it always. It's been reported that he doesn't want to jeopardise his relationship with the Evertonians. Right, you get that. But it's also understood he wants to take the opportunity to join Chelsea and play in the Champions League. So you can't have cake and eat it.
Well, it's hard for me to put myself in his mindset, because even though you love it, I was fortunate when I was playing for Liverpool. We were competitive, winning trophies, trying to get to the top. You know, you're playing Champions League and stuff. So it was. I never wanted to leave. You know, I had to be told to leave. I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
But if Liverpool were languishing mid to bottom end of the table and not winning anything, I can't say for sure that a bigger club wouldn't have appealed. I'd like to think they wouldn't have, because of my love for Liverpool.
I mean, his journey's just begun. He's only at the beginning of his journey with Everton. He's played 50 games. So I do think there is some sense in Everton pushing back against this. And the boy, if we are believing these attributed sources, well, it's a ridiculous observation. If you leave Everton, you're not going to, at this stage in your career, then the Everton fans are going to take a dim view of it.
100%.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.